Listen to Vibe Nation with Miss Erica Gamble.
Hey, you already know what it is. It's your girl, Miss Gamble, and right now you are tuning into Vibe Nation on 1010 AM The King.
You are now listening to Vibe Nation with my mom, Miss Gamble, on 1010 AM The King.
All right. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in with me and just staying online, okay? I know we had so many people ready at 3 o'clock. We have some people ready at 5 o'clock. But listen, one thing about it, two things for sure. The third time is always the charm. So as you know, this is Vibe Nation, and we are getting you focused with the culture, and I am your host, Miss Gamble. So tonight's segment is focusing on the importance of networking within your community, global hip-hop, R&B, and pop culture. We're also going to be highlighting Black-owned businesses worldwide, integrating community entrepreneurship with mainstream culture. So, if you have a business and you want to be showcased on my show, just text Vibe Nation to 678-851-1740 for further details. I would love to meet you and tell our listeners about your business, because getting you focused with the culture captures our aim. You know, delivering an immersive cultural experience where music and community intersect. See, Vibe Nation is not just about playing good music, but it's about amplifying Black excellence and forging creative connections and celebrating global culture in one powerful hour. And today, I have a special guest that will be joining with me very shortly. But before we have them hop into the hot seat, we must pay our respects to one of my mentors, Mr. Ron Carroll. So let's just take a listen as we honor his legacy.
The world of house music is mourning the sudden loss of Ron Carroll, the legendary vocalist and DJ from Chicago, who passed away at the age of 57. Known for his deep, soulful voice and his unforgettable contributions to the global house scene, Carroll's passing has left fans and fellow artists heartbroken. Reports confirm that he died following a heart attack, just days after performing his final set at the Summer's Last Dance Festival in his hometown of Chicago. Ron Carroll's story began in 1968. He grew up in Chicago, where his love for music was nurtured in church choirs. By the early 1990s, he had become immersed in the city's growing house music scene, a movement that would eventually define his career and inspire generations of DJs and producers. His breakthrough came in 1994 at the Winter Music Conference in Miami, when he connected with producer Louis Vega and contributed lyrics to Barbara Tucker's I Get Lifted. From there, Carroll's journey took him to collaborations with Deep Soul Productions, working alongside house pioneers like Mike Dunn and Byron Stingley. He wrote multiple tracks for Stingley's 1998 album The Purist, and went on to create iconic anthems like The Sermon. But it was his powerful, stentorian voice that truly made him stand out. Carroll became a central figure in the global rise of house music, lending his vocals to timeless club hits such as Lucky Star with French group Superfunk, which went on to sell over 500,000 copies worldwide. He also collaborated with major names like Axwell, Bob Sinclair, and Hard Soul, bringing Chicago's underground house sound to international stages. Ron Carroll's sudden death is a profound loss, not only for his family and friends, but also for the worldwide house music community. His voice, energy, and passion shaped the sound of an era, and will continue to live on in the music he left behind. May his legacy remind us of the unifying power of music and the joy it brings across generations. Rest in peace, Ron Carroll. You will never be forgotten. Thank you for watching till the end. Please subscribe for more updates and join us in keeping Ron's memory alive.
And again, our hearts and our condolences go out to the Carroll family as they are mourning the loss. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. And the thing is, family, if you are not paying attention to your body, you better pay attention now. Now, family, you are locked in with me. And right here on Vibe Nation, today's show is a powerful one because we're taking a journey through the evolution of music influences in African culture, from hip-hop to R&B to pop, and of course, house music. Now, we're going to explore how these sounds shaped us, moved us, and continue to carry on our cultural forward. Now, let's start with hip-hop and R&B. These genres were born from our need to tell our story, the raw truth of our communities. See, hip-hop gave a voice to the streets, while R&B carried the soul of our people through love songs, anthems of pain, and celebrations of joy. Then pop, because don't get it twisted, black culture is pop culture, from Michael Jackson to Beyonce, the Vibes, to today's global stars. Our influences have crossed borders and shaped the sound of mainstream music. And then there's house music. Oh yes, house. See, it started from my city, Chicago, in the early 1980s in the underground clubs like the Thalids from the College Warehouse, where DJs fused disco, gospel, funk, and African rhythms into a new heartbeat for the dance floor. From Chicago, house spread across the world to Europe, South Africa, and back again, creating movements that still keep us dancing today. Now, take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue on this discussion of the evolution of music. And this next track is by the one and only Souche Pierre. It's more of a Caribbean vibe, but then it also has a little bit of house to it. So I hope you like it. Tune in to Rapid Fire. This is Vibe Nation on 1010 AM, The King.
You know who this is? This is your boy Pigatti. The Haitian Prince, representing Delma Stank and Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Now I want you to get on the dance floor. We're gonna make your body sweat. We're gonna make your booty sweat. So let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. My bullet. Ribbon fire. 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 Now this is for we're gonna start right here in the motherland of Africa. Where we gonna start? We want everybody that represents the African diaspora to show up and show out. We want you. This is the dance hall record to get on. Show me what you dance for. Kenya, Ghana, come on, Nigeria, Cameroon, Republic of Congo, the DRC, Angola, South Africa. Make your body fire. Rapid 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 fire. Work it out. I like that. I really like that. But we gotta show the love to the Caribbean island. We're talking about the Sunshine Beach, the ladies and the fellas. Caribbean. Show me what you got. Let's go. Haiti, Dominica, Puerto Rico, Martinique, Cuba, Bahamas, PI, Trinidad, Tobago, Barbados, Jamaica. Rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire. Come on, rapid fire, 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 rapid fire. Tequila, Costa Rica, Panama, Guatemala, Mexico, Ecuador, Argentina.
You're about to sweat. Is that what he said? Hey, listen, Rapid Fire, and that is streaming on all platforms. He goes by the name of Souche Pierre Sapase. That's that Haitian. So, as we continue with our tribute segment to Ron Carroll, now when we talk about house, we can't forget about that legend. I'm telling you, he was a legend. See, Mr. Carroll was known actually as the minister of sound. Ron Carroll blessed the world with his spirit, his passion, and his beats. His collaborations with global DJs and artists prove that house was more than music. It truly was a ministry of love and connections. Now, most recently, he collaborated with Dice 2.0, Matt McCardle, and myself on our track called Baby Live Free. Now, that project wasn't just a song, but it was more of an experience, a celebration of freedom, life, and togetherness. Now, Mr. Ron Carroll wasn't just about the music. He was about the people. He cared deeply, he loved genuinely, and he lived every word he spoke. See, Mr. Carroll truly walked the walk, and he talked the talk. And as we dive a little bit deeper for the evolution of music, we're going to do our reflection segment on walking the walk and talking the talk. Now, that's something I want you to pause on today. Walking the walk and talking the talk. See, it's easy to say the right things, but how many of us are truly living them? Are you? Yeah, think on that. Because your actions, your integrity, your consistency, see, that's what makes people believe you, trust you, and quite frankly, that's how they follow you. So I want to encourage you and you sitting all the way back there, I see you. I want to encourage you today. Whatever your calling is, whether it's in music, business, or just everyday life, don't just say it, live it. Be the example. That's the real legacy. See, our special guest today, Miss Honorable Yvonne Gamble, she's also on the track of Baby Wants to Live Free. And she's telling you, walk the walk and talk the talk. Y'all go ahead and take a listen to this. This is the one and only Vibe Nation.
You are now listening to Vibe Nation with my mom, Miss Gamble, on 1010 AM The King. The King. The King. The King. You are now listening to Vibe Nation with my mom, Miss Gamble, on 1010 AM The King. The King. The King.
Thank you so much, buddy, for that introduction. We appreciate you. Now, how was y'all liking that track? I mean, it's everything and anything, right? Can you see it on your next live fashion show, house music tour? Yeah, I'm speaking into existence, so y'all better be on the lookout of that. For those who are just tuning in right now, we are on our reflection segment of walking the walk and talking the talk. Now, for those who may not know this phenomenal individual, and I don't just say phenomenal, she is outstanding. Honorable Yvonne Gamble. If you guys could, give me a round of applause for our special guest this evening, Honorable Yvonne E. Gamble. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you feeling this evening?
I am feeling wonderful. Thank you so much, Miss Gamble, for having me on the show.
Oh, my goodness, and thank you so much for your patience. I know you came in at 3, then you came in at 5. You are truly a pioneer, okay? Because you stayed there to the end, and here we are. So let's just go ahead and hop into this because we want everybody to understand the core values of funding. Now, I'm just going to hit you with a lot of different questions, and I know you got the best answers for them. And my first one is, what are the biggest misconceptions entrepreneurs have about getting business funding?
Great question. The biggest misconception that people have is it's an automatic, that you're going to get it because you have an idea, you have a thought, you want to do something. That's your why, that's your purpose. Yes, we know that is your passion, but that does not necessarily determine whether or not you're going to get funded. That's the biggest misconception that people have.
Wow. You know, in today's economy, you know, what funding sources are most accessible, in your opinion, for you know, small businesses, such as grants, loans, or alternative financing?
It depends on the type of business you're in, how long you've been in business, the stability of the business, what type of product or services that you're actually going to be putting out there in the public side. Those types of things all determine what type of funding that you may go after and what type of funding that you actually may receive.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? That's a big factor. Now, let me ask you this. What are, and again, in your opinion, what are the top 3 things lenders or investors look for before saying yes to funding?
Okay, what I'd like to do is let's break that down. There is a difference between a lender and an investor.
Okay.
Okay. A lender looks at what you have had, what you have done. They'll look at your bank account, your bank statements, your revenue that's coming in, and they'll use that in your credit and the credit worthiness of your business to determine your funding or financial capability. An investor will look at the future. They will look at what this actual can do to make an impact. Does this fit within my portfolio of the types of things I want to actually invest in? Because one of the main things on a venture capital is 100% risk investment into a product, service, or infrastructure with an expectation to receive a return on investment at a future date. So an investor, that's where the investors, all of your investors fit in that category. And there are different levels of investors. There are angel investors who do seed funding. There are institutional, governmental that do grants, institutions that do institutional style investing for large corporations. There are family wealth offices. There's private equity. There are venture, and so all of them could be categorized as venture capitalists because what they're doing is they're taking a venture. They're going to invest in something that actually literally does not exist today.
Right.
And so therefore they're putting money into it to create it for a future market.
Wow. So actually, you already answered my question because I was going to say, you know, how important is business credit versus personal credit when trying to secure funding? But just with that breakdown of those 3, it's almost like, if you have a product that makes sense to that investor, now I should say, does credit play a major role in that? Yes. So I can't come up here with my 5. I'm not saying I got a 530. Okay. I'm just saying for some of our listeners out there that may have a 430. Again, it's not me. I don't have that personally, but I'm just saying, Miss Gamble, or excuse me, Honorable Gamble.
Well, I'll tell you, that's very good, and I definitely wanted to touch on that.
Yeah.
Yes, when you're going into business and you're talking about credibility,
right?
And if we follow along the vein of what you're saying, walking the walk,
right?
In other words, you're going to start providing services and products that you're going to sell to people, and you want them to feel that you're credible in what you're going to offer and that you're going to be able to offer a good product or service. Then you yourself, the first thing you need to do in your capital stack, and that is to have your own personal credit in order. And you need to be putting that in order or getting that in order. And there's no excuse in today's economy because there's so many different avenues, so many different helps and services that can actually help you do that. And you can do that while you are building your product or building your service or garnering clients, you can begin to build your credit and your credibility. There are ways for you to build the credibility of your business without going into overwhelming debt. Everyone needs some of the basics. A basics is a Dun & Bradstreet number for your business. You need to do that. And what that allows you to do, it also has help. It has self-help as well as classes that it has that you can actually take. And what you'll be able to do, you will be able to actually get lines of credit.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to get credit cards, and it will just kind of take you and walk you through that stage. These types of things help build the credibility of your business. Now you're going in front of a lender, you're trying to get a loan,
right,
or you're coming to an investor. You have something to fall back on in the meantime.
Message. Okay. I mean, I just had to say that. And so the thing is that, like she was touching on, guys, now it could be a common mistake for a lot of us because we go out there and say, okay, I need $11 million today, but I have a 500 credit score. I have no line of liquid assets. I just started my business 48 minutes ago. It's not going to work, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Yvonne Gamble is telling you that you're going to have some type of longevity within your business, and your credit does. Now, let me ask you this. Where, and for our lovely listeners that are listening in, what would be a range of a credit score for them to even think about applying? Because, yes, you have some people that have been in business for years, but their credit is shot.
Yes, and I get that.
Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to not go to a lender, even a revenue-based lender. Revenue-based lenders will generally loan, and they may go down to a lower 500, 530 or something like that. But remember this, the lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate is going to be for that loan, for that same money. So you're going to be paying out very high for that money. You want to have no less than a somewhere between 600 and 650 before you go to someone and start, because now you've got something to negotiate with. When that credit score hits up into the 800s, then you have the most, when you see where it says you can get X amount of credit and you can get at 0% interest,
right?
They're speaking to the people who have 800 plus.
Right, not us that are sitting in the pool of 6 and 650. But don't shy away, my 6 and 650s. There's still hope. There is still hope, man. Listen, so we're going to come back because I know she just gave y'all a lot of crown jewels. But listen, make sure that you stay tuned, because when we come back, we're going to get some more insight on the financial literacy. This has been Vibe Nation, and let's keep it going.
Hey, you already know what it is. It's your girl, Miss Gamble, and right now you are tuning into Vibe Nation on 1010 AM The King.
Bitch didn't know.
I'm coming up. Oh, I'm feeling good. Yeah, have to take my time, like I know I should. You better get up off your feet and find something else to do. You got control of your life, yeah. Ride with me, 'cause it's happy, it's free, right in front of your face, it's inviting. I can see it is happening for me. It's a blessing to be so excited. I want the world to know, got to let it show. Ooh, I want the world to know, got to let it show. I'm coming out, oh, I'm feeling good. Yeah, have to take my time, like I know I should. You better get up off your feet and find something else to do. You got control of your life, yeah. Ride with me, 'cause it's happy, it's free, right in front of your face, it's inviting. I can see it is happening for me. It's a blessing to be so excited. I want the world to know, got to let it show. Ooh, I want the world to know, got to let it show.
You are now listening to Vibe Nation with my mom, Miss Gamble, on 1010 AM The King.
I'm telling you, every song, there is a message behind it. That song saying, we coming up. Because right now, we getting all the financial literacy that we need. And I know you and I alone will be coming up very soon. And I can't wait to announce when the Honorable Yvonne Gamble will actually be hosting a financial literacy class. So stay in the know, okay? And we'll be putting up that information, and we'll be on my website at www.globalvibeswiththez musicgroup.com. So I will be making that announcement shortly. But welcome back for those of you that are just tuning in. I am speaking with The Legacy, and I am honored to welcome her again on our show because she is a powerhouse in business, okay? A visionary leader and someone who truly embodies walking the walk and talking the talk. Please help welcome me again with the Honorable Yvonne Gamble, CEO and founder of Sam Pete Financial Group. Ms. Gamble, it is truly a blessing to have you with us today, and I thank you again. I can't thank you enough for sticking in here with me. I know today we have had our highs and some lows, and right now we are just sitting on cloud 9, okay? But let's get into it now. We have 4 core questions that we're going to break down, okay, starting with 1 as the venture capital basics. Okay, so make sure you take out your notes. 2, gaining potential clients. 3, investment guidance. And 4, the values and leadership. So here we go. Venture capital basics. So for someone just starting, how would you define venture capital in simple terms?
The simplest terminology to describe venture capital is that it is 100% risk investment into a product, a service, or infrastructure with the expectation to receive a return on investment at a future date. Now, let me unpack that a little bit for the audience.
Yes.
And that is when the venture capitalist actually makes an investment, they're making a 100% investment into that. Whereas you, the business owner, are not putting down a down payment. So if you went to buy a home, you'd put down 25, somewhere between 3 to 20% on that house. And then the bank would carry 80%. Well, if that same home or that same building or property was being invested in by a venture capitalist, they would be putting in 100%. You would not owe anything back to them for 3 to 5 and sometimes 10 years, depending on how much of that the capital investment was.
Now, was that simple for y'all? Okay, I hope you got it. Now, what should small business owners understand about the venture capital world before pursuing funding?
3 things to understand about the VC world. VC, venture capitalist, is strictly a relationship business.
Okay.
That's number 1. Number 2, capital raising takes between 6 to 24 months, and only systems get funded. What does that mean? You have to build a team. You must know your numbers, your product numbers, the cost that that's going to take you to get that product from off the shelf out to the marketplace. You have to understand the operational costs and be able to communicate that. You have to show that you have multiple streams of income. You cannot have a single source. Some people want to go to large government entities or to large corporations and source that corporation with a particular product or service. That's not going to cut it, because if that particular entity decides that they no longer want to purchase that product or service from you, then you're out of business. And you have to create an operations manual. How are you going to operate that business from end to end? What are your if-then-elses? If nothing is working, then what else are you going to do? What are your pivots? What types of things do you have in place to assure, to mitigate the risk? Remember, the venture capitalist is coming in at 100% risk. So everything that you do, you're going to have to paint a picture and tell a story of how you're going to mitigate their risk.
Wow. Now, question 2. And each question does have a 2-part question, Ms. Gamble. Now, gaining potential clients. How do you attract potential clients in such a competitive market?
The first thing that you do is stop competing and start collaborating.
Right.
Too often, new businesses coming in or smaller businesses coming into the market space, they're trying to compete with the larger businesses who've already been out there. They've tried, they've tested, they failed, they got back up, and they dusted themselves off and went on. Now you're coming in brand new into the marketplace.
Right.
Many times, just as in the business that you're in, the music industry side of the business, many new artists, what do? They open for a bigger artist.
Yeah.
Even the artist that we know, Prince.
Yeah.
He opened for some Gap band. And then years later, others opened Dice.
Yeah.
Actually
he sure
opened
did.
for Prince.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, this is what we have to do. You stop trying to compete and find ways that you can collaborate, and they can then carry you along. And I'll tell you another one that is very relevant today on Facebook. Facebook, he collaborated with Microsoft. That's what put Facebook on the map.
Wow. Now, collaboration is key. And, you know, I find that to be a source, even in the industry that I'm doing, right? Collaborating now with the radio, you know, being able to utilize the platform not only to have special guests as yourself, but I'm able to put out my music, put out other music of other artists. And the key factor, like she said, ladies and gentlemen, collaboration. Stop competing. Because what are we in competition for? Right? At the end of the day, and especially as we're talking about venture capitalists, that's all about longevity and generational wealth. If you're stuck in that competitive mode of, oh, I'm bigger than you and I'm better than you, then where are you going? You know, and I truly second that emotion. Okay. Now, what strategies, and I think, well, you already just said it, that strategy, collaboration. All right. So today's word of the day is collaboration. Get that stuck in your mind, ladies and gentlemen. We're not here to compete. It's all about collaborating and utilizing your knowledge with others. And I believe we spoke on that on our first show when we started Vibe Nation. Was all about collaborations. And now, as you know it, collaborating and funding is key too. Now, touching on 3, investment guidance. Now what should businesses look out for when considering investors or funding partners?
VCs actually sit on both sides of this coin.
Okay.
We have to consider all the nuances about the founder's business, and we also have to consider all nuances about the potential investor's business. Mm-hmm. Because many times a VC, a venture capitalist, may be funding that out of one of their funds, or they may be going to another investor, private equity, investment banker, institutional family wealth office, what have you, even an angel investor if it's a smaller investment.
Right.
And so therefore, they take on like 3 different, say, approaches. Mm-hmm. You do not go into a monetary contract just to get money for your business. Now, I know that may sound a little bit contradictory, but go with me here. Mm-hmm. If the investor is providing funds only and not providing you with support items such as an introduction within their network, additional client sources, supply or vendor chain assistance, regulatory assistance, or something tangible and usable to help you grow your business, then their only purpose is solely financial gain. And 9 times out of 10, when they're in it just simply for financial gain, they're in it because they know they're not giving you the necessary help that you need. Remember, venture capitalists are business owners themselves.
Right.
They've been in business, they have funded business, so they know how this works, and they know what works and what doesn't. They know these supply chains. They're not going to invest in anything that they don't want to be invested in. Let me say that again. And audience, I do want you to write this down.
Yeah.
A venture capitalist will not invest in anything that they do not want to be invested in. Many times they are multifaceted.
Right. Gotta be.
And they are futurist. Mm-hmm. Where they're multifaceted, they want to be in many different business. They want to be in many different industries. Now, what they do know is this. You're one person or you're one company or whatever, you can only do so much.
Right, right.
But if I want to be in 20 different industries, I don't have to lift a finger. I can invest in 20 different industries and let those people do the work. But I am in there and I'm making an impact that I want to make on the world. So get that and get that very clearly. We do not invest in anything that we don't want to be invested in. But what you want to make certain is that they're in it and they are in there helping you to win what it is that you're doing to make your business better. So do not look for, remember what I said earlier,
right?
Relationships. Mm-hmm. That is the first key in the venture capital world, is a relationship. Think, how can I build a relationship? There's 6 degrees of separation between you and where you want to be. Sometimes when you're meeting and you're networking with different venture capitalists or different monetary groups or commerce groups or what have you, associations, someone may not be in the business you're in.
Right.
But you make a very good, deep impression on them. Mm-hmm. That person will then introduce you to someone within their network. If that's not what's happening, then you need to be looking at other groups to get involved with.
Message. Okay. Now, look, I have to let that be known because that is a message. I mean, if you guys are not taking these notes, I don't know what you're doing because that's real. You know, a lot of us find ourselves literally, and I won't say on that spinning wheel, but after a while you'd be like, oh my God, I'm going. And you're just following a name. And the thing is that sometimes what does that name hold value of, right? And like Honorable Gamble is saying, those people that are interested in investing in you and with you will be there. If not, hey, you read the writing on the wall and you need to do some more work. And that goes on to our last question here about values and leadership. Now, you've often spoken about integrity in business. So how do you personally define walking the walk and talking the talk in leadership?
I have 5 guiding principles that have sustained me as a leader throughout my business career. Number 1 is strategy. That is the plan that defines how you are going to win. It sets the direction, aligns the priorities, and it fuels long-term growth. You can never go anywhere or do anything without having a well-defined strategy. The second guiding principle is structure. That's the way we work is organized to deliver results. If your structure, your system is not organized so that it delivers the results that you need and those roles are clear and decision-making moves fast and does not get bottlenecked in layers of red tape. That's all within your structure. And that's how you're going to continue to move smoothly and to be able to pivot. There were over 4,000 new businesses that came about during the 2020 pandemic. When everything was shut down, 24,000 brand new businesses came online and probably moved faster into their second and third iterations before the end of 2020. Systems. You must have systems. That's what gets invested in. How tight, how prominent, how impactful is your systems? Those are the repeatable processes that drive execution. Systems create consistency, it reduces friction, and it supports scalability. If your business cannot be scaled from where it is up to a higher level, then your business is a business, but it's not a business that is fundable for investment. Because remember, investment is not short-term, investment is long-term. The least amount of time that a venture capitalist is going to be before they get a return is 3 years. The next principle is skills. I bring in the capabilities that drive performance. If I have people who are not driving performance, they're out. You have to build experienced teams that can replicate at scale, meaning those teams that you build are going to have to be able to build their teams and so on and so forth in order to fuel that entire human capital need for that organization. Staff, that's the talent behind our momentum. I see as I sit as CEO over 10 different corporations. With that, I do that because I have that staff. My staff drive that. They're committed to what they're doing. They are aligned with our mission, and we equip them to grow the business. That's the purpose. That is the ultimate purpose of why they come in and why they leave out and why they do what they do. That is their why.
And that goes on to my last question for you of, how do you build trust with clients while guiding them through the financial growth?
With clients, it's not as hard as we make it out to be. Number one is communication. That's communication of good and communication of bad.
Right.
It has to be clear, concise, and in a timely manner. Setting and managing the client's expectation. Do not set an expectation that you can't keep. If for some odd reason the deadline does not match, or the deadline, tell that client before that deadline is blown.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know ahead of time. And when you come to them, here goes the strategy. You already have a strategy defined because you've already thought about what's going to be the if, then, else, what you're going to do, how you're going to resolve that. You don't just simply go and say, well, we're not going to make the deadline. That's no good.
Right.
You have to set and manage the client's expectations. And one of the things that we do, and I have been doing this in businesses since I've been in business, and that is I maintain an unofficial presence in the client's projects.
Mm-hmm.
By doing that, once a funding is done, the client is then they go off and they're going to build the project or, do the service or whatever they're going to do.
Right.
So we're at a point where we don't have to necessarily have communications or have to be doing anything with them. Handwritten notes. I'll send a handwritten note to a client to just say hello.
Right.
I'll make a phone call to a client just to say hello. We'll send small gifts, small token gifts or something for no reason. Just to say hello, see how you're doing. If you have any questions or if you need some help moving some building blocks or something that may be impeding you, some red tape or bureaucracy that you need to overcome, let us know and we will help you. When you do those types of things, those are things we do that we don't have to do.
Right.
And that client is always going to think about you and about the fact that, wow, those people helped me and are continuing to help me, and they don't even have to.
Right.
Our business has concluded, but yet they're still here and they're still concerned. They still care about me. And there's not one person on the face of this earth who does not want to be cared about.
Wow. What an incredible conversation. Because that's truly what we just had was the narrative. Financing your next billion. You wrote about it. Thank you, Honorable Yvonne Gamble, for sharing your wisdom and your heart with us today. Now, family, if you didn't catch all of that, just remember this. Success is about more than the numbers. It's about building trust, walking in integrity, and living what you speak. We've honored the past through music, celebrated the late Ron Carroll's legacy, reflected on living authentically, and learned from one of the best in business. Now, that's a full day right here on Vibe Nation. Now, until next time, I'm your girl, Miss Gamble, and I want you to keep vibing, keep building, and most of all, keep walking the walk. Peace and love, family. And we'll see you next Saturday right here on 1010 a.m. The King. And before I go, Miss Gamble, where can our listeners get in contact with you?
The best way to get in contact with me is through LinkedIn.
Okay.
And just look up Right Honorable Yvonne Gamble on LinkedIn, and you can send me a direct message.
And for those of you that don't say direct message, send her a DM. But yes, indeed, y'all, let's go ahead and vibe out with this one from the one legendary queen of house, Miss Robin S. You gotta show me love.
somebody who will always be there. Don't you promise me the world, all that I've already heard. This time around for me, baby, action speaks louder than words. If you're looking for devotion, talk to me. Come with your heart in your hand, because my love is guaranteed. So baby, if you want me, you got to show me love. Words are so easy to say, you got to show me love. Show me, baby. You got to give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, yeah. I don't want the fake, don't want no phony. I need your love. Show me, baby. Give it to me, give it to me. I am not a toy, I'm not a plaything. You've got to understand. If you're looking for devotion, talk to me. Come with your heart in your hand, because my love is guaranteed.
You got to show me love, man. Oh, that just took me back to those days back in the year was 1996. No, just playing. But I'm telling you, if you know, you know. Okay, growing up in Maywood, Illinois, you know West Side do or die, Chi-Town. The house 815 North Fifth Avenue always had the block on lock, man, and I just love that track. Shout out to James Artisan and Miss Robin S for their new track. You know, she's still touring and still making the live beats. Now, as we close out, we always got to pay homage to the one and only Black-owned business segment, right? And that is Global Vibes Music Group. Now, who are we? We are a music development firm based right here in Atlanta that empowers artists through mentorship, personalized product support, and marketing strategy to build sustainable careers. Now, Global Vibes Music Group was founded by a tight-knit community passionate about creativity, collaboration, and reshaping the music narrative. That's why our go-to slogan is changing the narrative one vision at a time. Now, we will be hosting our second annual Black Excellence Expo in February, so make sure you get your tickets early on Eventbrite and just hashtag GV as in vibes, MGBEE 26. And we actually currently have some vendor opportunities available, so it's a family affair, and we want you and your kids to come on out. And again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in with us, and tune in next week as we continue to get you focused with the culture. I got some special guests, and as you know it, man, I'm your host, Miss Gamble, and always keep it lit, always keep a vibe. We're going to close out with this one, Ocean by the Vibes.
The ocean is clear, the tide is high. Sun-kissed skies, your soul is what she desires. Never going hungry, feed me with your eyes, oh the loving that she gives me can be no surprise. Praise God for the queen, I come to lead me, no I them lost everything
think them wicked men know why. Some sick and still look to the sky. We will survive. Yes, we will survive. Yes, we will thrive. We must. The ocean is clear and the tide is high. Oh, high. Sun-kissed skies. Your soul is what she desires. Never going hungry. Feed me with your eyes. Oh, high. The loving that she gives me can't be no surprise. But life is now. We must bring life to trees and become what we grow. Yes, that's why we will survive. Plant the seed, then we grow. If you don't water it, you never know. Let the sun bask on your skin. You gotta love yourself and be confident from within. I can see the light.